There we go. Hey, what's going on, party people? This is Lacey here. We're back at it. Got another one here for you guys. So, if this is your first time, welcome. So, what I do here, I am a spiritual healer. Therefore, I talk about spirituality. I assist you in understanding your emotional pattern and your intellectual patterns. In so many words, helping you to work on your shadow self. Because as you are acknowledging those different aspects of you, what you're also doing is you are definitely doing your shadow work. Meaning, in other words, that's the healing process. So that's what I do, and we're just gonna talk some talk. Now, if you're coming back, come on, man. As soon as you see this, we got something for you, baby. Get your plate. You feel me? Don't be left behind. You already know what this is. Come correct. Talk to me nice, baby. Talk to me nice. That's all I'm asking of you. Now, with no further ado, guys. So, as you see in the title, and for me, just to give you a little bit of background, I felt like I have always talked about, the ego, the false self, and also the true self, right? So, and I talk about the differences, but I felt like I never really emphasized on, the benefit. And I think I somehow did because I did draw like a parallel, and I guess maybe that's what I'll do tonight too. As you aligning yourself with this persona that you have created versus you being in alignment with the person that you are. Meaning your spirit, your self-esteem, your talents, your gifts, the person that you are. So let's get right into it. So, because what I'm truly trying to talk about here too, I want to talk about how important it is to find your purpose. But again, it's important for you to understand, how do you find your purpose if you're not in alignment with yourself? It's not going to happen. So the part that I truly wanted to talk about was that. But, we're going to dance. That's what we do. Let's dance, baby. Oh, by the way, happy holiday, everybody. I was just outside, motherfuckers are doing their fireworks, doing all that shit. I was just watching this shit. It was cute. It was all that. It was all that. But anyway, happy holidays or whatever the fuck you celebrate. If you do, you don't. Nigga, I look at it as, I'm having fun. And it's no different from any other days for me, if you're asking me personally. Check out my other video. Check out my Patreon, by the way. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. Check out my YouTube, my previous videos. Then you'll know, man. Every time we're here, it's a party. You know what I'm saying? We bring the party. We are the party. So, the benefits of you aligning yourself with your true self, right? So first, we have established the difference between the false self. Technically, when we talk about the false self, it's pretty much the self that we learned, that we've been conditioned to act as and to be like. So at a very young age, we learn how to act a certain way. And you do this is how you act correctly. And, there's a certain pattern. So in other words, society has created, structure. So you got to follow that type of structure. That's pretty much what that is. So within that structure, then you have yourself, which is, that's not in alignment necessarily with what the norm is. That's why when we talk about the false self, the main purpose is to please others, to be pleasant, to kiss ass. Technically. Of course, you don't look at it like that, but that's technically what it is. You're looking for validation in so many words. And by your validation is by you kissing ass. By you trying to act a certain way. But anyway, so that would be the main purpose. That's why now you have to act a certain way. That's what acting as a society is. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I guess from a lower perspective, it's important for you to set up those rules or those institutions, because that's what school is. You have the school institution, then you have the government. All of those are pretty much set up to create a society. They all come together creating the society that we're living in. And us spiritual being, that's where I guess, the whole thing comes in. It's about us now changing that mentality. Because it's turning us into a robot. It's turning us into our lower self. Meanwhile, we are dying inside. That's technically what this whole thing is about. Then now you had your ancestors that was pretty much telling you how to become the master of this life instead of having it mastered you. Because life become your master now when you gotta act a certain way for you to be pleased or for you to be validated. But now when it's you doing things your way, now it's a whole different ball game. Now that's you becoming the master of life. And pretty much that's what you have. Zombies versus people that are alive. Meaning masters and slaves. That's what this whole life is all about. And which is also a great balance too. You got to have your slaves, you got to have your masters. And in this specific terms, what I'm talking about is, it's either you have mastered yourself, meaning you are acting in accordance to who you are, or now you're just following the crowd. That's what pretty much it comes down to. Now, following the crowd, has never been the way at all. Because socially it may look a certain way, but in the inside you dying. Because you're not living off of your potential. You're not honoring your gifts. You have no self-esteem. That's what self-esteem is. That's why the number one rule that I feel like society had used and understood for them to create the society, you cannot have a self-esteem. Because that would derail the order of things. So you have to become common. Meaning you're not alive. I mean, it could be said so many different ways, from, however perspective you want to put it. And that's how we're living in the multi-universe. Because now you're coming across all of those different type of understanding and meaning as you're living here. So I'm traveling in different worlds, different understanding, different ways of looking at things, frequencies, vibrations. I'm embracing it all. That's some God shit. And that's the meaning of being in touch with your true self. Because you are an individual, and at the same time you're also part of the universe. You are the all and nothing. That's the yin and the yang. That's the ma'at. That's what we talk about in African spirituality. All day, every day. In all different aspects. So that could be the most, global or universal ways of looking at it. But on a lower level, it's the yin and the yang. I mean, which is also, but what I'm trying to say is, it's the harmony of the spirit and the body. There's no duality. That's why when African spirituality, oh, they're going mayhem out here. So when in African spirituality, we're talking about Ba'at. So we're talking about a balanced way of looking at life. We're talking about mind and body. We're talking about hell and heaven. But the difference is we combine it together. We make it one. Oh, they're going crazy out here. Damn, I felt like that shit was for like a good fucking 2-3 minutes. But anyway. That's what they're doing. So there's a whole it's a whole lot for you to stand up for yourself. That's the price in itself. Because now you're claiming yourself. Then that's when your self-esteem kicks in. The self-love. Not selfish though. Self-love. Now you having a balanced perspective on life. So now at this point, duality does not exist. You're not saying fuck the ego and then the spirituality, or you're not saying fuck the body and then it's all about the spirit, or you're not saying fuck earth is all about heaven. However you want to put it, it's the same duality bullshit. But in your case, it could be different degrees of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not in the bullshit. No, sir. Mm-mm. So that's when in African spirituality, the whole ma'at, the whole harmony comes in, it's all together. And what we do to actually depict that, it shows in our behavior. That's why we have rituals. That's why we have statues. Because now we are manifesting the spirit in this world, in this 3D world. In our mythology, everybody's men and women, but we're talking about the spirit. We have materialized. We brought out of the darkness, the light in. Those are all rituals that we do on a spiritual level, and it's being acting out. That's what a ritual is. You're doing some shit. Then we do it through magic. We do it through our culture. All of that, it's manifesting. It's representing. It's pulling from the fucking darkness into the light. I'm blacking out for a second here. Big up, the spirit's here, man. Yes. That's why spirituality African spirituality is the base for spirituality on earth. If you understand what I just said. It is the blueprint. That's why it's all African. Like we've always, like when you learn about the whole Adam and Eve story, and then I broke that shit down when you're talking about now how women is being looked at, and then after that they were ashamed of their parts, meaning, you know what I'm saying, and that's what you see in our society today. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about this thing down there. Oh no, 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 no. You don't talk about him or about her. And then you give it other names too, because it's too, I don't know, it's too real to talk about a dick and a pussy. So all of that came from your creation, which is talking about you as you building your society, your understanding, your the person that you are. That's why when you grow spiritually, your understanding of the creation, of the story of creation will change as well. Because now you're not going to look at Eve the same way. Now you're not going to look at the fucking serpent as a fucking enemy. Now you're putting everything together. The serpent in Indian spirituality, and then we in African too. In fact, let me well, nah, let me mention let me mention that because a lot of people may know it by, the Indian serpent, which is the Kundalini, right? So everybody in their spirituality is telling you you have to raise your Kundalini. But in African spirituality, we always knew about that. That's what Dambala is. If you know, you know. But if you don't know what Dambala is, look it up. You'll see how ancient that shit is. But I understand, spirituality has been brought to us from, in the West, metaphysics was introduced, and then yoga now is taking a big part. All of that is coming from that other side, to this side here, and there's a certain understanding that we are having of this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, it was mainly the Christianity that was pretty much, the whole Jesus shit. Now, a nigga could go from talking about Jesus, now you could talk about Buddha. Then from Buddha, you can talk about Shiva. Then you're getting about your chakra, your Kundalini, but that shit is all African. Not only the blueprint is African, but also if look up Dambala. That's it. I ain't got to say more. And then now the other part of it, listen, man. Woo! So, the benefit of you aligning yourself with yourself, it's incredible. Because now, just like when I talked about the whole purpose behind, the false self was to please other people, now you pleasing yourself. Oh, now it's different. And there's a whole state of mind and philosophy that comes with you looking at yourself and not judging other people or not looking to please other people. That's when now you get to follow your purpose in life. You know who you are. You are honoring your gifts and talent. Understand this. When those life coach like Tony Robbins, Leslie Browns, all of these motherfuckers, they're all good. But these guys, when they're giving you life knowledge, they pretty much telling you about, the spirituality on a lower level. That is why when Jesus was talking about those who came before him are considered being thieves. So it's like they're giving you life advices, without mentioning your true essence. Because if you know your true essence, you don't need that. If you are in alignment with yourself, you don't need to listen to Tony Robbins or Leslie Brown. Because automatically you're going to follow your spirit. And guess what? You're going to get knocked down. Those are going to be part of yours. You're going to look at it in a whole different perspective. Because now your purpose is your erection. It's your GPS. It's what's guiding you now. You see what I'm trying to say to you? So you don't need that. So the whole parable, when Jesus was talking about these motherfuckers are thieves, I get it. And that's who they are. And that's why everybody's doing God's work. But you have your thieves, and then now you have your fucking priest who's telling you for what it is. That's where I come at, baby. Looking all good and shit, talking my shit. And you know, that's when I introduce myself. Hello, everybody. You know, hey, this is what you need to know. Allow me to introduce myself. Because I'm already speaking for what it is. It speaks for itself. You feel me? Oh, I'm slacking with this shit. Yo, I'm on my bullshit. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? I feel like, like my man, I love this nigga Loaded Lux, man. You know, he says, I don't even slacks with my slacks on. That type of shit. That Michael Jackson bad. That's how I'm feeling. Do you see what I'm saying? We're going to leave that there. We're going to leave it there, baby. It speaks for itself. That motherfuckers got me wildin'. But anyway, and we were talking about the self shit. So I hope we can understand. Because I'm all about that. I just got my erection on you. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was so, I was in my element. So excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So I got to break down how I don't even slack with my slacks on. You know what I'm saying? By now explaining to you that, I was on my bullshit. Because that's the shit that I am motivated by. That's the spirit. That's me embodying this. That's me being alive. As a healer. Giving you your medicine, baby. Get your medicine. I know. We got to break down the food. Some people we got to do the airplane. When I used to feed my daughter, we got to do the airplane on that one before, she gets it. It's okay. You can rewind this, you know what I'm saying? This is why this shit's out there. This is for y'all. Oh, that's for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you my gifts. I'm giving you me. What the fuck else do you want? What the fuck else do you want, nigga? Huh? You gotta talk to me nice, baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect me now. I'm doing this for you. But anyway, I was in my feelings. And that's what I'm saying. So many different layers and how you can also break it down. And still uniting all of those. My shit's insane. I love it though. So, I'm saying all of that to say, when you are in alignment with yourself, oh my God, the price, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But it does also require, and I talk about the sacrificial lamb, it requires that sacrifice, baby. Meaning, if you're thinking about the conditioning of what society's doing, and if somehow, we all went through it, so we had to sacrifice that person. Another way of saying that, from being a forced person, acting as a forced person, and now you're being your true self. That's a transformation. That's the caterpillar that's becoming the butterfly, baby. You looking good out here. This is a whole oh my God. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that in its that's the miracle right there. That's the miracle right there. Come on, man. Fuck with me. What are you doing? That's the miracle right there. You know what I'm saying? And as that's why Jesus was saying, and I'm using the Jesus reference too on a whole different level too. You know, or maybe that's what you also know. So why not talking about something you know? And I'm breathing life into it. So therefore, I'm giving you life in what you know. Ooh, I'm on some bullshit. I'm still slacking out here, baby, and I'm still not slacking. You hear me? How do you want it? I just don't stop. I don't know how to. I'm sorry. I was in potty train, nigga. I was a roof from the start. Like niggas told me to go left. Why? I might want to go right. But then I'm going to go left. Because that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Not because you're telling me, though. So, you know what I'm saying? Even when I come together with you, it's because of me. You know what I'm saying? And I just gave away some shit on some, you know what I'm saying, Mac and shit. That's why you gotta listen to your woman. You listen to her. You do. And then you formulate your own shit. You feel me? You gotta be open to everybody's perspective. Not downplaying, you know what I'm saying? And what the difference is in that part is that you're not following what other people are telling you. But now, it's like you are listening. And then you making it work out for you. That's what it is. Now it's coming from a place of power. And whenever there's power, baby, there's accountability. You feel me? In other words, there's great responsibility. And that responsibility is that you taking accountability for you, baby. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I start loving this nigga, man. Yourself. Because I'm in love. But you can't get to that part until you align yourself with yourself. Oh, we're talking about the benefit. The benefits of you being yourself. And at this point, to be honest, I don't even think it's important for me to even mention you not being yourself. Because, I'm not trying to glorify some bullshit. You're not being yourself, pleasing other people, sucking everybody else's dick, acting like everybody else, not knowing how to love, not knowing how to express yourself, not using your talent. Come on now. I mean, I don't know. Which side are you trying to be on? You see what I'm saying? And then you're going to start envying other people. Then you have envy, jealousy. All of that comes from that duality bullshit. You not being in alignment with yourself. So everybody who's following their path, that's why they don't hate on other motherfuckers. They appreciate. Oh, that's what they did? Oh, shit. I like that. How did you do that? Yo, God bless you. Okay, so I could use that, make myself better. Bam, 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 bam. The talk is different. But that is all because you are valuing or being in alignment with you. There's no way around it. Obviously, there is. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I mean, for me, there's no way around it. It's either you alive or you fucking dead. Which one is it? It's either are you the master or the slave. You see, it goes in different layers, different meanings, but it all come together. And that's why a lot of those life coaches are trying to tell you guys, yo, you got to be aligning with yourself. Face your fear, not to do things for other people. Follow your bliss, follow your heart, your talents. That's what these motherfuckers are telling you. But what they're not telling you is, nigga, just be yourself. And that's how they are, that's why Jesus called them, they're not the true consciousness. They giving you bandages too. But in so many words, if you follow some of that too, you'll have a more of a fulfilling life. Anyway, that's why a lot of people who have money, like believe it or not, they do have. There's a certain level of spirituality that they also have. Rich people love life, man. Why would you not? Why would you hate life? If you're not, that's because you're not experiencing yourself. It's a nightmare for you. To have a good dream down here, meaning you are following your bliss. That's all it is. And it's rewarded or rewarding on so different levels. Self-fulfillment, monetary gains, exposure. How the fuck? Yo, that's your erection. You know what I'm saying? That's how I get to walk around on my cane, baby. I'm doing me. You hear me? That's what this shit's about. That's what the awakening is all about. For you to be awakened to you not being who you are, to make that transition, to be in alignment with the person that you are. Now, let's get to the person that you are. So we're talking about your gifts, your talent, because everything has to be translated. Like, you got to make the connection between what you see and what you don't see at all times. And that's the balance. That's how they come together. They complement the yin and the yang. My eye, baby. And that's the foundation of African spirituality. But for you to be fully balanced, you have to become 100% spiritual, meaning you got to become conscious. So now the true meaning of balance is for you to be 100%, not 50-50. You feel me? Then when you fully become one, or holy, the yin and the yang, then at this point, you're having an experience. Now, the word has become flesh. Now you're flowing with life. Or you're becoming universal, baby. Or cosmic. You're on your bullshit now. Get your medicine, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So aligning yourself with yourself is everything. Is everything. It sprout. That's that. I don't know, man. That's that sperm. That's it pretty much. That's that lotus that opens it. By you aligning yourself with yourself. Now you're becoming open to the light. It's everything. It's the tree, it's the fruit, it's everything. Now you become one with the knowledge. The seer becomes the seen. The known become, come on, man. The knower becomes the known. And that's how the mute are now speaking. What? The blind. Oh, now we see. Tell them what you see on this side, baby. Nigga, please let him know. Yeah, that's what you see over here, nigga. Now the mute are now speaking. Oh, we here, nigga. We here. Come on, man. I am the gospel, nigga. You go ahead and let him know. Let him look back. You know what I'm saying? Let him know what you see, man. Oh, man, get your medicine. We're giving sight to the blinds, man. Shit. Because I'm the miracle, nigga. But anyway. The benefit of you aligning with yourself, first of all, oh my God. I mean, I can't even describe, like, I could go down the line. So we're talking about now, you pretty much kickstart your self-esteem, right? It just got kick-started because it was not there. Then you valuing your gifts. Like, you are living life, your talent. Now you're speaking your truth. I think that shit's too much for me. I like your spirit. Yeah, I'm too emotional on that bullshit. Why you doing me like this, dog? You know what I'm saying? Take it easy on me, spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's when you truly get in touch. You're living life. You're radiating. Us Haitian nigga, we say "naboule" when we acknowledge each other. Illuminating, like I'm radiating. Are we here? So we understand, like, shit, that's the flesh, that's the word made all the way motherfucking flesh. In its purest form. By combining those two worlds. And that's what being a god is about. The Shiva, the destroyer, and the creator at the same time. I want some bullshit. What? What are we talking about? So the benefit of you aligning yourself with yourself? Come on, man. It's priceless. There's nothing like it. It's a fulfilling life. It's to truly love with a broken heart. So when you follow that path, man, like, your game is different. I tell niggas that shit all the time. You're playing to lose, I'm playing to win. We don't play the same. Yeah, we both players though. You know what I'm saying? Your game and my game is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of game would you have to be with a bitch that you don't like, or the bitch don't like you? Because that's the kind of game that I'm seeing with Steve Harvey. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your 2 or 3 years type of shit. You know, not truly embracing who you are or the motherfucker that you're gonna be with. It's all tricks. It's the battle between the sexes. Like, you don't fucking know who you are. Like, I'm just breaking it down on so many different levels on how the benefit of you being yourself, that shit is crazy. Because now you in love with a bitch, the bitch is in love with you. on a healthy shit, not on some bullshit. On some Neo and Trinity shit. Goddamn, yo, I have a bucket list. I wrote that bitch down. I wrote her name down. I gotta fuck that bitch. I'm fucking Trinity, dog. Yo, if you see the Matrix 2, I think Reloaded, I think it's probably called, but Matrix 2, whatever. Right? So there was a part where she had to go back and save Neo again. Because she's been saving this nigga's ass. But that's a whole different definition. But I'm on some bullshit. Random. This is random. 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 Right? So now, when that bitch, because I'm telling you what gives me chills, right? So now, then she realized some shit happened in the Matrix, and then she had to go in. When Neo told her, "Yo, can you promise me not to go in?" Whatever the fuck. If you see the movie, you know. But fast forward. Now, check this out. This is what I'm trying to get off. You know what I'm saying? I got some shit on my nigga. Shit's heavy. So, I'm trying to get light out here. So now, when the guy told him, "Yo, Trini, you sure about that? Like, you know, like you only have 5 minutes." So therefore, he was trying to talk to the architect, and then there's only 5 minutes. Whatever the fuck, y'all gotta check out the movie. If you see it, you see it. Then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, oh well. It doesn't have to be that way. Check out the movie, nigga, and that part specifically. So, and then she said, "In 5 minutes, I'll tear this whole fucking building down." And she was trying to save her man. I'm like, woo! Goddamn. Nigga. Oh, that shit always. From that day on, that's when I'm, y'all, she's on my bucket list. I'm fucking Trinity, dog. Trinity's getting fucked. One way or another, bitch. Trinity's gonna get it. You hear me? Now I gotta get me more drinks. You know what I'm saying? I had to get right. You know what I'm saying? You know, spirits coming through. We're doing our Thazel. But anyway, guys. So now, Trinity. Or even that fucking movie. Anyway. Let's get back. Because Trinity, you're not getting away. She's trying to run away from me. I got you, bitch. You see, like, showing how strong that love is. And vice versa, too. Like, Neo, we would die for that bitch, and that bitch would die for this nigga. What? And now you want to play games? Like, what type of life would you rather have? I don't know. Like, for me, because shit, nigga, I'm in my feelings. That's the shit I want. I want that Trinity shit. She's on my list. Don't worry about it. I got it. What? So the benefit of you aligning with yourself, you valuing yourself, your talents, your gifts, your interests, who you are. Come on, baby. You're following your bliss. There's no competition with you and other people because you're not looking to please them. And guess what? If you're not in competition with them, how can you hate on them? Because the hate only comes in competitions. That's why every nigga or bitches that's on her path, knowing who she is, that's why we can't hate. It's not in my bone, man. I'm like, what? What is that? We congratulate. We appreciate. We love. That's why you gotta love yourself first before you love somebody else. There's no way around that, King. And by the way, let me mention that King and Queen shit real quick. Because I feel like a lot of us are saying that, but we don't understand. Well, let me just say from a mythology perspective, When I'm listening to people calling each other kings and queens and shit, they're looking at it from a perspective of, what a true king is. What you see in your movies, the crown, and this is pretty too. Like, come on, it's done on different layers, but generally speaking, I feel like that's the only way they're looking at it. And in Africa, not everybody could be kings and queens if you're looking at it from that perspective. So therefore, you wouldn't have a government, you wouldn't have somebody that's ruling over you. Understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense. So for me, I got to go with a different definition. Oh, you gonna get this work. Shout out that nigga Loaded Lux, man. I fuck with this dude, man. Incredible kid. Incredible. Incredible. So, what I'm saying by this is this, right? So we were talking about, you know, that's what it would have to be if you truly thinking about what I just said, right? Because now I'm getting back to the spirit. We're back, baby. So, because that's why when they talk about the seven principles of the spirit versus, I don't know, like there's a seven some shit of sense, envy, jealousy, and all that shit. All that comes from you not being in alignment with yourself. You living from that forced persona perspective, because everything is a competition. You don't know how to be real. That's why you don't love yourself. You cannot love nobody else. Now you're looking for accomplishment, validation, pleasing other people. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you don't get to see your man or a bitch too, or a nigga that's looking at a bitch. You're looking at a fat ass. You see what I'm saying? If you're I'm not denying the visual attraction here. Shit, that should look good, bro. Woo! And then it's gonna stay right there, though. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what being mastering yourself is. Being in alignment with yourself. So it's like you get to see things on a different level. You get to see more of what is being given to you. Another way of saying that too, now that you're being born again by aligning with yourself, now you're looking at everything from a self perspective. Not a selfish perspective, but a self-love perspective. And that creates a loving world. You following your path. You finding the bitch that you truly love, not for money, not for none of that shit, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit. Having a fulfilling life. To be truly alive as a God, living like a God, that's what it is. To live like a god or a goddess down here is for you to embrace everything about you. To embody this body. And that's how you master it. What are we talking about? How do you want it? How do you want it, baby? What are we doing? So, aligning yourself with yourself, the benefit is insane. And I didn't even talk about finding your purpose yet. I mean, I think, and so I touch up on it, but can you imagine valuing, when you value your truth, your gifts, your talent, and now you following your purpose, you know what your purpose is. Because now you are in alignment. then at this point you become connected with something that's higher than you. And that's when the life fulfilling and also the sacrifice comes in too. Because now you got to sacrifice that false person that you were, you know what I'm saying? And everybody, listen, man, we all got to make that sacrifice to survive in life. Now, the life coach, or maybe if you listen to Kobe Bryant, if you listen to Michael Jordan, they tell you the same thing. While everybody was partying, they had to sacrifice that part of them. They were shooting that hoop, bro. Mm-hmm. So you have to sacrifice yourself. I, there's no way around that for you to grow spiritually, for you to attain. And we all know it's like, that's why we always say hard work pays. Right? Jordan know hard work pays. Kobe Bryant, like he was saying, yo, who was talking about practice? I don't know. Was it? I think I got it all fucked up, but I think it was Allen Iverson talking about practice. But there's some shit, Kobe Bryant. Go harder. That's what it was. Yeah, harder. Go harder. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he understands there's a certain sacrifice that we got to do. And that's the whole understanding about the Christ dying for humanity. For humanity. Christ dying for you. Because a lot of people don't understand the meaning of sacrifice. Because the true sacrifice, like for me, I have to make some sacrifices. Just like, Abraham, he had to sacrifice his son. And that's why the spiritual life is not for the weak, baby. I don't know what anybody's telling you. I don't know. And they want to act all knowledgeable and not talking about how to cope with the pain that comes with it. Oh man, listen, man. I mean, it's like the way I look at it. It's like I'm working out with a dumbbell, so it's beautiful. So I'm always trying to get that from that 40 pounders. I need to get that 45. I need to get that 55. That's how I'm looking at it. Oh, I ain't scared of that bitch. Karma's shit. She's not a bitch to me. It's my nigga. And that's what the whole ancestors were trying to teach us, for us to become the master of this life. The Kabbalion is teaching you how to master this life. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So far, all of the Egyptian shit that I've learned was all about mastering this life. Not to get the fuck out of it, but mastering it. And by mastering it, the truth sets you free. You know exactly what you came here to do. There's no fight clubs. There's none of that shit. It's all you coming together with yourself. So, understand, that's why your enemies never hurt you the same way that your friend hurt you. So understand, what's truly hurting you is your friend. That's why you got to become your friend, the friend of your shadow, the friend of your ego. And that's what the whole harmony is about. And that's what African spirituality understood, that we all got to come together. That's when we understood it wasn't about, oh man, Democrat, Republican. No. Fuck both of them. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like when niggas are talking about earth and hell, it's the same blueprint that's being given to you guys. Do you see what I'm saying? When niggas saying fuck earth, fuck humanity, and all that shit, That's a higher representation of that duality. What makes it the same bullshit? That's why we're fucking with African shit. That's the higher level. Isn't that what the Kabbalion was telling us about? We're talking about polarity, right? Okay. You know, does it matter if it's face or tail? You got the coin, right? Doesn't matter. So what are we doing? So I'm saying all of that too. I'm also showing you when you are in alignment with yourself, that's why there's no competition. That's why you're not looking to please other people. That's why you don't have hate for anybody. That's when you congratulate instead of hate. Do you see what I'm saying? So the benefit in itself, that's what growth is. So understand when you're growing, that's the price. You already won. You know what I'm saying? That's what they telling you. If it happens in the 5D, or whatever the fuck, spiritually, it's already done. Because now everything that's gonna come after that is gonna be the enfoldment or the depiction of what's already done. So you guys got to become born again. But most importantly, that's the importance of you aligning yourself with your true self. The benefit, there's no anxiety, there's no competition. And that's how you are able to recognize a tree by its fruit. Meaning, now that's how I could discern like who's acting from their false self and who's acting from their true self. If you're acting from your false self, now I could see you're looking at your accomplishments and you're looking to accomplish more because that's how you're getting more validation. But I also know now if you're acting, and that's how I'm able to heal you to get you on that other side, from this side, from your true self, guess what? Validation doesn't matter. Self-fulfillment now matters. Your self your self-esteem now matters. Then now you start having values. Now you don't see the numbers in things, you see the quality in things. So when you start seeing quality in everything, your choices become quality choice. I.e., or another way of saying it, now you don't look for a bitch because she got money. You don't look for a bitch because she got a fat ass. Oh, bitch, looking at a nigga. Now, okay, I'm not. You see, now you're looking at leadership. You're looking at his mentality. What does he represent? Now but you got to have values first, though. Because when you don't have values, you look at, well, I mean, it's being done in different levels, but it is what it is. You're still looking at his status because at some point he got to have values. I'll give you that. But it's happening on different layers. And sometimes the layer B may not be the same as A, but that's how we're moving by faith. That's how you can support your nigga too, but we ain't talking about that. I want some bullshit. So, making a long story short, the benefit of you aligning yourself, and I wanted to talk about that because I always talk about, what's happening when you're not aligning yourself with your true self. But the true shit and the real shit that should be talked about. But you gotta have the balance as well. Sometimes to emphasize on this part, you gotta show the negativity too. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's all good. As it is all good, it's also important to emphasize on the importance of you aligning yourself with yourself. That's the prize itself. That's the benefit is that itself. That's that's that seed that becomes that tall tree. Well, depending on the heart, whether or not that seed fails. That and that was the whole parable of I guess the sower. You got it right there. So guys, it's very important, man. It's very important. I got to emphasize on that. Which I have been doing, but I guess I will summarize it this way: like for you to be in alignment with your true self. It's a life. It's being alive. That's when you're following your purpose, and your purpose is your direction, baby. Your purpose is your GPS. That's what's guiding you when you don't see what's going to happen, but you're following that no matter what. And everybody who had followed that, pretty much just like our ancestors did, a nigga like Prince or Michael Jackson would tell you, follow your talent. Don't be afraid. It's not going to be easy, but that's what you got to do because that's why you came here for. But by them telling you that, though, there's a fulfillment, there's a spiritual fulfillment that's taking place. And for me, as a healer, I'm giving you that same perspective on a deeper level. And that's why Jesus meant by these guys being the thieves. Or like Brother Panic called it, which I really like, you being a side hoe. This nigga wild. Wow. Like the whole Jesus parable, what he was talking about, getting into the kingdom of God or the wedding, I think it was. I don't remember. But it was like, if you coming as a guest, it was some shit like that, man. Oh, fuck, that shit's not coming together. But if you know the Bible, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Like there was this fucking wedding, I think it was. And then, shit, I don't remember, bro. But what I remember about it, and it was mostly the meaning that I got out of it. And that's why I connect everything together, because it all makes sense. It's like, but you're not being 100% yourself, but yet you are walking on the path. I mean, I don't know how to break it down, but what these guys, why they are being called thieves, is pretty much they're not telling you 100%, or they're not breaking it down to the truth, which is not just your willpower, not just because, well, if you have this dream, or why do you have to, okay, put it this way. Everybody's telling you what? Okay, follow your talent. But why do I have these talents? What does that mean about me? So they're not telling you why you have, well, I can't really tell you why you have those talents, but what I'm trying to tell you is why you even have talents to to fucking begin with. Do you see what I'm saying? It's because you are spirit. And that's where the priest comes in. Because everybody's doing God's work. But it varies in degree. Right? So if you have these talents, that's why a lot of people, you got to believe in God. Like, if you don't, I don't know. Now, your interpretation of God, that's what, we could work on. That's where your healing is gonna come from. Because regardless of how you're looking at life right now, that's how you're looking at God. But you don't looking at it that way. It's okay. But me being a healer, I do the deep work for you. That's not even important. Those who gets it gets it. But all I'm saying by that is this though. The benefit. This is all reflecting you being in alignment with yourself. So it's like even if you don't make money, you have already you're already satisfied. Think about it. Like if you're let's just say, you wanted to do music, right? And then you follow in that path. Now you may not become a Beyonce, that has both the self fulfillment and the money and the fame and everything else. But let's just say you know that's what you came here to do, and you did that, and you didn't become a Beyonce. You still win because at the end of the day, you happy. Do you see what I'm trying to say to you? Now that other bitch, she's happy, and that's a whole different fulfillment that comes with that, and I'm not gonna deny that. And that's why you also got to be true to yourself too. You understanding those different layers of self fulfillment, and then, but at the end of the day, once you grasp yourself, it doesn't matter. That's why a guy who is obsessed in certain things that he loved to do, he put in so many hours in doing it. It doesn't matter. It's therapeutic. For me, I could do this shit like for hours. Guess what? When I don't speak to you, I say Haitian, Haitian, Malay, and all that shit, and then my mind is it's still on this bullshit. I'm living this life. What you want me to do? It's my life, bitch. I chose it, and I love it too, though. So, in so many words, I'm still depicting the benefit of you being in alignment with yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? That's when you become Him. You met God. You appreciate God more because now you're in a greater connection with Him. That's why your relationship with God, the way you look at God, is important. Are you looking at God as a masculine, as a feminine, or you're a bitch? Because think about it. In other words, I'm saying if you look at God as your parent, okay. But if you're looking at God as your lover, though, you know, that one who knows exactly what to do to please you, your harmony in life becomes different. That's my art. That's the connection. That's the yin and the yang. But anyway, I want some bullshit. Anyway, party people, happy holidays. It was definitely a pleasure. I was inspired because I wanted to talk about this. I always talk about, the false self, the ego. So, check out my Patreon. Check out my other videos. You know what I'm saying? Eat your meal. Aishin, you already know. Ali.